Today we are going to be looking at the HoBao Hyper TT. Stick around and I'll tell you why I have it, how I got it, and what electrics I've put in it. So this car is not actually new. I've had this Hyper TT for a couple of years now. When my friend Paul went over to Tasmania, we did a little bit of a car swap and he took some of my cars and I got some of his, and this is one of the ones that I ended up with. So you may have seen this car in the past in some of my videos where it had this pink body on it as well as a white rear spoiler, and it had these old Big Joe 2 tyres from Proline on some 2.2 inch HPI rims. And over the last few months I've actually been collating a number of parts to put this car back together and give it some new life. I got the car as a roller, so it didn't have any electrics in it. I knew that I needed to replace the tyres and I didn't really like the body that it came with, so I was very fortunate to have HoBao send me out a new body so that I could paint it up and put it on the car. Unfortunately, when HoBao sent me out this new body, it didn't come with any headlight stickers, so I had to very carefully peel off the ones from the existing body to put them on the new one. I did get the Hyper TT stickers and all the HoBao and all the extra ones, but didn't get anything for the headlights, so that is one of the things that I had to do to make this work. And as you can see, I also swapped out the old white spoiler for a black one, and given that I was going to be using these black wheels and tyres from Louise, I wanted something that was going to give it a really nice contrast, and this camel yellow from Tamiya with a black pinstripe going here actually works very, very well with this car, and I think it gives it a really nice fresh look and really makes it my own. So I guess now it's time to have a look under the bonnet, and I'll very quickly get rid of these body pins and we'll take the lid off and I'll show you the overall layout of this car and some of the modifications that I've made since getting it from Paul. So this is the overall layout. You got the motor on this side, battery on the opposite side, steering servo laying down flat here, and your ESC sits comfortably on top. Now if you're wondering what sort of power system this has, it's actually something that I wanted to kind of not spend a lot of money on, and of course something that can pretty much anybody can upgrade their old brushed vehicle into brushless at very minimal cost. So this one here is something that we sell over at Metro Hobbies, which is where I work, and we get these in a 4000 kV, which is this one, as well as a 3000 kV combo. These retail for about 110 bucks. They're very, very easy to install, and they're ideal for any sort of budget build, or if you want to upgrade from a brushed vehicle to a brushless vehicle. This is something that obviously doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's basically a rebranded Hobbywing combo. So you get the motor, which is a 3652 size can with a 50 amp ESC, and they even give you a program card, which is really, really cool. So that is the combo that's running in here at the moment. This has only a 3.5mm shaft. Now this car does run Mod 1 gearing, but the pinion that Paul kind of left with me fits right on that shaft and it works quite well. The receiver kind of sits up here. I've got this connected up to my Futaba 3PV, and of course your ESC, I've double-sided taped this to the top plate here along with the switch, and I've taken advantage of this little notch that's on this plastic plate that you might be able to see there, and I've actually put an additional zip tie just to keep everything in there nice and secure in case it ever decides to come unstuck and you know, it wants to fall off. Now this combo can run on 2S as well as 3S, and as you can see I've got a 3S battery in here at the moment with plenty of room still left over to run even something a little bit thicker and a little bit longer. And the only other modification I've done to this as far as the power system goes is I've cut this cable down quite a bit because it was probably another 2.5 inches longer, and I've gotten rid of the Dean's plug that it comes with and swapped it out to an XT60. Now lastly, I'm going to run you through some of the standard specs with this car that you get with it. As you can see here, it has front and rear sway bars already pre-installed, which is really nice to see. If you haven't noticed already, threaded aluminium bodied shocks, so very good, although Paul reckons that these shocks aren't very good, but we'll soon see. It also has CVDs right here on the front, which is very, very good. Standard dog bones in the rear though, but that's pretty standard and not really a big deal. And it also has this additional chassis brace in the center here, which I think might be standard. I don't know if Paul's actually put that in, but that's actually a really nice addition. It sort of runs through the very center of the car. You might just spot it there, and obviously it's going to help stiffen up the chassis just that little bit more. So very, very cool. I'm actually pretty impressed with the overall layout of this car, and you know, it's a fairly lightweight vehicle. The only thing that I wish they would have included in this was perhaps a waterproof receiver box. gearbox rather than just having the receiver kind of sitting on top of the servo here. That would have been a nice addition with something like this, but other than that, it's actually not a bad looking car. Would have preferred as well some adjustable body posts. That would have been a nice little addition to this as well, but it does come with a fairly decent bumper on the front here. Also has a tiny little one in the rear, and it just looks like a mean little machine that I think is going to rip pretty hard, especially with this power system on 3S. So I'm very much looking forward to running this car and just seeing how it's going to perform overall. As I said, I got this second hand from my friend Paul, and I got it with no electrics, and of course I had to sort of build it up and fix it up a little bit and get it up and running. So keep an eye out. I will have this out on the BMX track very, very soon. You guys get to see me beat the living daylights out of this thing and just see how it holds up. So that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the video description down below. As always, I'll have links in there to my social media pages. I'll also have part numbers and perhaps even some links to some of the components that I've actually included in this build. And that way, if you have one of these and you want to get some of these upgrades, or you want to maybe try out the brushless combo, feel free to check out those links and maybe grab one of these for yourself. That's it from me. Thank you again for watching, and I'll speak to you all next time.